At this time, we welcome the Columbia Lions to the call and head coach Al Bagnoli, along with quarterback Ty Lenhart and defensive back Ben Mathiasmeier. Coach, excited to welcome you to the 2021 Media Day. Really excited to get going here. We'll start with some opening comments from you, and then we'll move on into the session.
Yeah, sure. It's great to be here. I think I speak for the entire team and the entire league that it just seems like it's been eons since we've actually done football. So this will be fun. And let me first start off with a general comment about kudos to our kids. I think all 8 schools were certainly facing challenges throughout the COVID period, but our kids in particular, given that they weren't on campus in the fall and all but the seniors were on campus in the spring, of all the things that they've had to do in an unstructured environment without the benefit of spring football, without the benefit of a strength coach leading them. So I give our kids a tremendous amount of credit for enduring that year and then how they responded to get back to campus over the summer. And the leadership shown by our fifth-year kids, our seniors, and how much they rallied to try to play catch-up and how much we've accomplished, under those really trying circumstances. So I just want to make sure that my appreciation is given to our players, to all the efforts that they've had. It's been an unparalleled time for everybody, and it's been enhanced with us. And as we look forward, because of all those trying times, I feel like we're a lot closer team with much better chemistry, with, I think, a much better appreciation and to play football. And as a result, we not only have a really healthy roster, as Coach Perry already alluded to, and we're busting at the seams, which is a good thing, but I think that's indirectly really going to cause us, to have tremendous amount of positional competition. And I think that's going to force our kids, to really play every day at a very, very high level, because I think we're going to be as deep as we've been. And I think when you have a roster this size, it's just going to benefit everybody concerned. So we go into it really optimistic. I think we have some areas that have been, I think, just very strong when you start off, say, in special teams. And, Drew Schmidt has already been a multi-year starter and been an all-league punter. And Alex Falcons is coming back, after a terrific freshman year and his career, long field goal attempt. And then we also have Mikey Russos, who obviously has been a dominant returner, but I think you can say that a lot of positions. We're going to be as deep as we've ever been at linebacker. We're going to be as deep as we've been at running back. We're going to be, deep and explosive and versatile at, wide receivers. I think we have tremendous competition at quarterback. We have 3 out of 4 starters back in the secondary. So while we have a lot of question marks with a lot of young kids, just given the nature of not playing a year, we also have enough coming back that it enables us to be, pretty optimistic moving forward. And I'm just excited to see what we can do and actually play football again.
Coach, when you put all of that together, how does preseason, you've been at this thing for a long time, how does preseason camp change, if at all, with the unparalleled time from the last couple of years, but also the roster that you now bring back? Does preseason camp change at all with where we are?
Well, again, we've got to approach it a little bit differently, just because we haven't played football, so we've put in a tremendous amount of work over the summertime, and we had 80 plus kids here for the majority of the summer, which for us has just been, unrivaled. But so we can hit the ground running, but we haven't done football. We didn't have the benefit of a spring football as we know it. We had very few kids here participate in any of the phased-in activities. So I think we've got to be a little bit, wary about how quickly we jump into this thing, but also understand that, we have some experience, we have numbers, so we have to balance those two things out. We haven't had football, but we've had an extensive off-season program with our strength coaches in the weight room, on the running track, and everything else. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a balancing act early until we can get a total assessment of everything.
Got it. Appreciate it. You brought two guys with you here today, Ty and Ben. Talk a lot about these guys and what they mean to your squad.
Yeah, and again, they're really been the ringleaders of trying to get things done over the summer times on the football field. So both have shown tremendous leadership. Both have rallied kids around them and kind of pulled them along with them, both in the weight room and on the running track, and have organized off the field activities and have done things to really try to enhance where we are with the program. And so I give kudos to not only Ty and Ben for everything they've done, but I think they're reflective of the entire seniors and fifth-year kids, who are really driven, to get back and make this thing go and overcome all the adversity that's been thrown at us, and just really try to make sure that we're prepared to hit the ground running when it comes to practice one on Saturday.
Ty, we'll come to you first. Some goals for the offense, maybe heading into this season. And then Coach just touched on your leadership qualities. Wondering if you touch on those as well, and what you and your leadership brings to the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think as an offense going into this season, we're just looking to execute on all aspects of the game. Execute and play fast. 2019, we were able to look back and evaluate a lot of the things that we did wrong or things that didn't work out. And I think, we've had so much time to really go back and, go to the drawing board and figure out what was wrong. And now we just have to execute. We have a plan. We know what we're doing. We're going to install the offense and, teach guys the offense, the younger guys, and we just got to execute. And I think with leadership, Ben and I will touch on this, but it's been a crazy year and a half, and we've been given this card. It's adversity, and I'm a firm believer that adversity brings opportunity. And I think what we've done as a program kind of just speaks to Coach Bagnoli and what he's kind of taught us as we've grown up through the ranks. But we're just trying to be a team that comes out and sticks together through everything. One of our mottos is Charlie Mike, continue mission. Whatever happens, we're just going to continue mission, stick together. And I think that's just a testament to what the last year and a half has been, just us coming together, growing tight. And people may be like, oh, how are you guys tight? You haven't been together. I think it's brought us closer than ever before. And I think this is the closest team I've ever been a part of, and that I think Columbia will ever see. So I'm excited.
Likewise. Ben, take us on the defensive side of the ball and set the stage for us in the 2021 season. Set the side for us on the defensive side of the ball, like Ty did for the offense.
Yeah, no problem. I think we're just ready to go on the defense side of the ball. I think this is by far the deepest we've ever been on the defensive side. It's by far the most experience we've had at all three levels: D-line, linebackers, and defensive backs. We're returning a lot of guys that made a lot of impact plays in 2019. And then we're bringing in a lot of guys also that are going to be key contributors, not only on defense, but also on special teams. We know there's areas of improvement always from 2019. We had a few good games, complete games, but a lot of games we left a lot out there. And we're just looking to improve on all cylinders, right? Create more turnovers, whether that's in the air, forcing fumbles, get more pressure on the quarterback, and just compete on the whole. I think from a defensive side of things, our defense coordinator, Coach Farrar, preaches relentless effort day in and day out. So we're just ready to go out there, compete, strap up the pads, buckle the chin strap. We're ready to go come September 18th against Marist.
A reminder for the media on the call, if you have a question for the Columbia Lions, take advantage of the raise hand button located at the bottom of your screen. They will then cue you and you're able to ask your question to the Lions. Ben, while we wait on questions, for the second straight year, you're the Campbell Award nominee for Columbia. Knowing everything that William Campbell meant to this Columbia program and Columbia school and the Ivy League and as a whole. Talk about what that means to you personally and individually to be that nominee.
Yeah, it's a great honor, and it's truly a blessing to be recognized as that opportunity to be under Campbell's name. Every day we walk into our facilities, our weight room and our meeting rooms, we see what he's done, and his name's on the building, right? And just to see how he was a coach at Boston College and transition into his life out in Silicon Valley. He's someone that I think everyone can learn something from, not just Columbia football players, but he was truly a great coach, whether that was on the football field or in life. So it's definitely, I'm extremely thankful to be honored for the award, and couldn't be more blessed to be recognized for it.
Congratulations, that's fantastic. We do have a few in the queue, so we will turn. First up, Alex Vispoli. Alex, we will unmute you and ask your question to the Lions.
Thanks, Matt. And this is a question for Coach Bagnoli. We just heard from Coach Perry, and you and him both talked about some similar themes about how your teams are much deeper and stronger than they've been maybe in years past. And of course, the year off has something to do with that. And I would imagine that's really the case around the league with so many players back and really, with no football really committing themselves to strength and conditioning. But on the flip side, it's been almost 2 years since there's been a game, no spring game. How do you think that will manifest itself in what we'll see in games early this season, that dichotomy where guys are really prepared, but maybe also pretty rusty having not played the game in a long time?
Yeah, thanks, Alex. That's a great point. I think that's what we're all trying to figure out. We collectively all have a bigger, stronger, faster team, in which you would expect, but in many ways we have a lot younger team. When your current freshmen, are kids that you recruited and you have never met in person. The kids who are sophomores, you recruited, but we never had a chance to work out with them. And the kids who are now juniors were freshmen. So there's also that unknown part of everything. And so how quickly we can make an assessment of our kids and, hopefully we can simulate as much game-like conditions as we can during practices and bringing in officials and doing some of those things. Because the reality is we have not played a football game since November of 2019. And that's reality. So there's always a little bit of that trepidation moving forward of like, how are we going to respond, when the lights finally go on? So it's certainly a very valid question. I think it's an issue and a concern that everybody is thinking about. But hopefully we can practice well and prepare well and give our kids confidence that they can take that first step and do it very efficiently.
Thanks, Coach. Next question is from Matt Kim, Columbia Spectator. Matt, we'll unmute you and please feel free to ask your question.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yep, all set, Matt. Thank you.
Yes.
Cool. So obviously, I assume you guys were staying in touch in various ways throughout the pandemic, but I think as we've all discovered over the past year and a half, virtual interactions just aren't the same as those face-to-face in-person interactions. So can you guys describe what it was like to finally get together as a team again and just be together in practice?
Yeah, I can touch on that, Ben. You can as well. But, I think it was an unreal moment when we first got back to campus. Some of the guys who haven't been there, for me personally in May, and just seeing guys for the first time in probably a year, it was unreal. But it was kind of cool because it was sort of like we just picked right back up where we left off, and didn't feel like I hadn't seen him in a year because we've been doing so much stuff on Zoom and staying in touch, and it was a special moment, and I think it's just going to grow our team and build us together stronger than ever before.
Yeah, and just to go off what Ty said a little bit, I think the biggest thing was team chemistry. Once we got all the guys up here for the summer, which was a whole lot of guys up here lifting, running, and doing football position-specific drills, I think just team chemistry as a whole has grown throughout the course of this summer, and it's going to carry on to camp starting this Thursday. So couldn't be more excited.
Ben, Ty, thank you. Coach Bagnoli, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. We are going to wrap up here and transition into Cornell. Columbia, wishing you guys nothing but the best this year, and looking forward to watching you throughout the 20.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. Take care.
You too. You too. We will quick transition into Cornell. Please stand by, and we'll be right back with Big Red.